Hey everyone, my name's Kelvin and I'm going to quickly show you how you can use Coloring Book Pro Garden Edition to make a mandala just like this one. The first thing you want to do is download that folder from Creative Market and unzip it. It'll look just like this. And then inside you'll find some folders. This folder will contain the brushes and then the actual garden elements like the leaves and the flowers and those kind of vector shapes. The second folder has the templates that we'll need to make the mandala. As well as the scripts that we need. This will have some extra files, and this is the README that'll have a link to this video. So go ahead and launch Illustrator, just like this. I'm going to demonstrate this in the Creative Cloud Illustrator, but this add-on works fine in CS5. So we'll go to File, Open, and let's go ahead and open that the garden elements. So we'll go in the first folder and then Garden Elements Volume 1. There, it'll look just like this. Little over maybe 300 or so different vector shapes I may add to this before I release it. But this is basically where you'll just copy these different shapes and then paste them into the template. So we'll open one of those templates now. So we'll go to File, Open, and then let's go back to that folder, and then we'll go into the second folder here. And since we're going to make a mandala, that'll be the 6-sided reflector template. So we'll open that. There, it'll look just like this. Basically, you'll draw your mandala pie slice in here using those shapes. You'll kind of place them and move them around, and then when you're happy with it, you'll run the script. It'll reflect that little pie slice around, and then it'll put the result right here. So let's zoom in, and the last thing we need, actually we still need to get the actions and the brushes. So we'll go to Window, Actions, and then if you see any actions, you should probably clear those or they could confuse you. So those are gone now, and then we'll do Load Actions. We'll go back to that folder. The actions are going to be in the second folder, and since we're using the 6-sided template, we'll need to use the 6-sided actions as well. There, they'll look just like this. If they don't look all color-coded and into nice buttons, then you'll want to make sure that button mode is enabled. So if it looks like this, go to the little menu and then click button mode. And these are various scripts that you'll need to manipulate these garden elements. You'll use these scripts to copy and move them around and whatever. And then this is the final script. This is the reflection script. So once you've populated this little pie slice, you'll run that script and it'll reflect it all the way around. So let's do a quick demonstration. You might grab some flowers first. So I'll copy this one. So I've got that selected. You can just use the normal copy command, but since I think you're going to be using it a lot, I included a copy script. So we'll use the copy script and then paste it. And then we'll grab a leaf as well. Maybe, how about that one? Copy. And then paste. There, so we've got a few scripts. This script will shrink it, and this script will grow it. If you try to use these, it may change the stroke width. So if you know how to change the settings to avoid that, go ahead and do that. But if you're not super familiar with Illustrator, then I recommend just changing the size of these shapes with the scripts. And then we've got a duplicate one, so you might select a shape and you want another one, so you click duplicate and it'll just make a copy and place it next. And then we have a flip script as well. So notice this leaf is pointing that way. We can do flip and it'll just mirror it over. So we could do duplicate, flip, and then create mirror images that way. And then we've got some rotate scripts. So you might want to rotate a flower, so you can rotate it like this. Just rotates it a few degrees at a time. Then if you want to do a big rotation, you can use the 30-degree rotation. And we also have some scripts that let you move things forward and backward. So in this case, the flower is behind the leaves. We could send one leaf behind by using the move to back script. Or we could just move the whole flower forward using the move to front script, just like that. And that's pretty much all the scripts, the tools that you'll need to assemble your own little mandala slice. And we'll also need the brushes. The brushes, they're what you might use them. It's totally optional, but they're good for making vines and stuff like that. So we'll load the brushes by going to Window, Brushes, Open Brush Library. And then we'll go back to the folder we unzipped. And then the brushes are in the first folder. And it's called the Brush Library, 29 Vines and Stems. Open that one up. There, looks just like that. A couple brushes you might need, totally optional though. Let's move this over here. Okay, so we're all set. We've got the action scripts loaded. We've got our little library of flower patterns over here. And then we have the brushes loaded as well, so we're ready to go. So let's start by drawing a vine. Let's look for the pencil tool here. There it is. So I'll draw a line just like this. And black line, empty fill, and I'll just select one of these. I think I like the thorny ones the best, actually. So that's a nice one. The line itself is pretty rough, so you can use the warp tool. So just under the rotate tool, there's another button. You'll hold that down, and there's quite a few different kind of distorting tools available. The warp tool is at the top there. And it just smooths paths, and it's pretty intuitive. It'll just smooth out the paths and let you kind of drag this vine around however you want. There, just like that. And it will only affect something that you've got selected, right? So while this line is selected, this tool will work. But if it's if nothing is selected and you use this tool, it'll mess with everything. So make sure you specifically select which you want to warp. Here we go. There, I'm happy with that. We'll put the flower right about there. And we'll bring it to the front there. We'll just make a really simple one today. Okay. And since this leaf has a pretty long stem, we'll go ahead and use the eraser tool while the leaf is selected, and we can shorten the stem. And there we go. And you'll just place elements however you want. You can use the elements that I've included in the pattern library up here, or you can use your own vector elements. Even images will work, actually. Send to the back. There, and that's basically it. You'll just move around your designs until you're happy with it, and then run the script. So I'll fast forward this for the sake of brevity, and then I can show you how these reflection scripts work. So you can see that I'm placing some of the vector elements over the edge of the guides on this little pie slice. That's totally fine. It actually looks better that way in the final result, because any of the elements that go over the edge will be reflected back on themselves, and then they'll kind of overlap it. So it'll hide the edges of this pie slice after it's been reflected. You'll notice that kind of, you'll notice what that effect looks like when you look closely at the final result. There we go. I'm pretty happy with this arrangement. Before we run the script, we want to make sure that everything that we don't need is cleared off of the artboard, so these extra leaves can go. And then we'll do a double check. There, one was hiding. And once we're all clear, we'll select everything. And at this point, you would change the stroke thickness. Now, obviously, if you change the stroke thickness of this brush, for example, it'll just make it bigger. But if you want to actually just change the thickness of this line, then I would do this expand brushes script here. That'll just select those and then turn them into outlines. So then we can select everything. And you could give it a 3-point stroke or whatever you want. Just type your stroke directly into here. I think a 1 point is fine. Do a double check, maybe a few more minor tweaks. There we go. I'm happy with that. And yeah, just select everything and then run this reflection script. It'll just take a second. And there at the very end, it'll replace your original drawing here, so you could make a little edit and then run the script again. But the actual result is just next door over here. So just with those few designs, running the script creates this really intricate, lush illustration, which is perfect for coloring books. And if you wanted to export this as an image for a coloring book, I would recommend going to another document. We'll do 1,000 pics by 1,000 pics. And we'll select our mandala and we'll copy it. There we go. And you could do some other minor changes if you wanted to. Like, we have a nice space in the center. I often leave spaces so I could put like a flower there or something. So we can grab this flower actually. We'll copy it. Actually, we can just use the scripts. Paste it in the front. We can grow it and make sure everything is kind of centered there. Hopefully this is a good overview about how you can use the 6-sided reflector scripts with the 6-sided template to create an intricate floral mandala. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment or send me an email directly or send me a message on Creative Market. But thanks for your support, and other than that, guys, thanks for watching.